Welcome to episode 26 of the Dragon's Tome. And my name is Rob.
And I'm Jack.
And I'm Trevor.
And we're here to discuss Dragon Magazine every issue chronologically. You're up to issue 26 from June 79. Oh, the summer of 79.
I don't remember the summer 79.
Any comments? I don't know.
No.
No comments. The cover here is terrible. Terrible cover.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's terrible, but I don't know if this is some kind of weird attempt to rotoscope a cover.
What it is that we'll get into in this issue, but Timothy Kask had some game, what's it called? Like System 7.
Yeah, System 7 Napoleonics.
I don't know if he invented it or what, but it gets the cover because it's all about Kask. There ain't nobody but a Kask. It's a Kask party.
There's these ghost Cossacks coming our way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, an overlay. It's the chit game and then an overlay of some people. And wrong scale, like wrong angle, like, I don't know. At least make it like different angle. Get some 3D terrain, people. Come on.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. It doesn't have the same, like, it's not a painting or something like that. It doesn't have the same art style, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. I think it doesn't fit in with the usual dragon covers.
I bet this is more of a Little Wars cover. Yeah. Yeah,
it would look more in place, but as a change, I kind of liked it. Oh well,
to each their own. Then I won't insult your cover any longer.
My cover.
Jack made that cover, by the way.
No, someone named it. Looks like Roger.
Roger, there's a name on this? I can't even see it.
Really?
Oh, I think that might be. He might have stole that from the picture, whatever picture he overlaid. I don't know.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. That's probably he probably had to give. It's blended in nicely into the.
Who knows? Yeah. Dragon Rumbles. This one's an intro to a new assistant editor.
Dragon Rumbles.
Are we excited here? A new assistant editor, people.
I think so. Well, Timothy Kask is the editor, right?
We'll get to it. Feature creature is now called Bestiary. I think that's how we've always known it back in the day.
Yes.
Bestiary.
The dragon's bestiary.
Bestiary, yeah. It's many different ways to say it. Giants of the Earth is a new monthly column to add spice to D&D. It adds some characters to the game, which is fun, which I don't know if it was called Giants of the Earth, but I remember that in the thing. Supposedly new trap articles coming soon. Ask for submissions. A lot of this is asked for submissions. New spells and magic items article called Bazaar of the Bizarre. Or Bazaar of the Bizarre, I guess. Anyways. He still complains there's no letters. And then we have the assistant editor introduce himself. His name is Gary Jacket. But he wants everybody to call him Jake because he said there's too many Garys or at least one too many Garys in this company. Nobody can call him Gary except for Gary Gygax. But the funny thing is, if you look at you go down to the masthead here, it says publisher Gay Gygax and assistant editor Gay Jacket. They both of them missed the R. And I thought
that was circulation. Weird. Oh, he's the same guy. Did he give him?
No, there's no R there either. And in one of the articles, I noticed that they also say gay. Like it's for some reason the R's get left off. I don't know if it's somebody's typewriter's R is broken or something, but it's really funny. If you hit A and then R, the R doesn't work. So they're all gay. That's all I'm just saying. I'm glad they're progressive. And it's good that they have an assistant editor because they screwed up the names already.
Yeah, we've got a new editor. He's on the ball. He's not going to let a single thing slip by. And then there's multiple spelling errors of the owner of the company. Yeah.
So this guy is an old college friend of Kask's. He's a co-author of Gamma World, which I thought was funny. And I think he also worked on the Dungeon Master Guide, which we'll find out in a few issues. I don't think it's in this one. And he says promises more content now that there's 2 of them working on Dragon, which it's a good sign. So you may not know how to edit, but at least we'll get more stuff in the magazine. So that is the Dragon Rumbles. And we'll move on to Patrick. Patrick, what is your first art take?
All right. So let's go to page 20.
Oh.
They're 2 off.
I thought you were going.
They're 2 off.
Oh, I was going to say something about D-Day. Oh, this is one of mine too, yep. Chinese Undead.
So I went with Chinese Undead. I thought this was
That is the one.
You thought that was I was going to get? I like this one because it also gives you all the flavor of the Chinese culture. And they're all undead, but then it gives them all the weaknesses and failures of the Western undead.
Yeah, it's once again to add flavor to your characters. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it's
Jack,
really cool.
Was this one of yours too?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. And
what do you have to say about it then?
In this episode, or in this edition, this article is like a highlight. Like, there's some other things in this, but when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a good article. So I'm not surprised everyone kind of jumped on it.
Yeah,
I found this issue really good. I have so many articles in this one. So we're gonna go on for a while. I do like to point out vampire specters can throw a tiger skin and turn anyone into a were-tiger slave. Little extreme.
Which one is the Shang Q?
Vampire specter. I don't speak your freaky deaky language.
It just says right there the Shang Q are super vampires.
Anyways, yeah, you can throw a tiger pelt onto people and they become were-tigers.
Nice.
And my other favorite is the celestial stag because it's really just deer ooze. It's deer ooze.
Yeah, it's an appetizing name for an unappetizing creature.
Anybody else have any favorites of the Chinese undead?
No, I like the vampire specter.
Well, there you go. That was Chinese Undead, and there's a amazing picture of a deer-headed, I guess it's some kind of animal-headed monster right there. Goat demon, probably. He's probably a goat demon.
He looks like a goat demon.
Bahamut situation going on there. Baphomet, as some people would say.
So the goat demons are really just ghouls in goat shape, apparently.
Can't all be good demons. Sometimes you're just a ghoul.
That's true.
Sometimes a ghoul's just a ghoul.
Yeah. Girls and gals.
Hey, Jack?
Are we keeping you awake, Pat? We keep me awake?
Huh?
I'm in charge here. Jack, how would you like to go?
I tried to usurp him, Jack, and you left me.
I saw that. That was a kind of a power play. I liked it. I got a little hard there.
Well, he was yawning at you first, though, Jack. He thought you were boring, and then
that was the signal. And then Jack didn't jump up.
Wow, we got nothing going on here, I guess.
Okay, so Chinese Undead, we've already covered that. So we're going to go to page 25 on the PDF, 23 in the magazine. And it is a reimagining of the alignment.
Already other one too.
Oh, okay. This one's a little more of a thinker.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I left this one for Rob.
Because already alignments in this day and age are basically been, their time has passed. We can all agree on that. But this is surprising that this early on, we've just had Advanced Dungeons and Dragons come out, and already people are going, it's not. It's not. It needs more. So that this is basically turning it into the spectrum, laying it out with what attributes and what you would and wouldn't do if you have the alignment, and it was interesting.
Yeah, I liked it a lot because it doesn't try to change the alignments. It works within the AD&D alignment scheme, but it tells you how to play those alignments. And he really sets his argument. It says he doesn't like group arguments, but is fond of charts, so that's what he made. But it's a way so that all these players in a group, even if you have varying different alignments, you don't automatically just hate each other. You all have your own agendas and your own way to play. And I like his basics of like lawful people always keep their word even if they're evil, and chaotic people don't like working in groups no matter what. Like, so they'll always go against the group kind of. And it's then it goes between evil and good. Like evil's selfish and good is obviously benevolent, and then neutral's all in the middle.
And good is dumb.
But I just like how he lays it out, and he has a list of all the different ways to play it, and it all works. And I think it's probably the best idea how to play each alignment I've ever seen. And it's 1 year into the game.
Yeah. You can look at how he lays each one out, and it's not perfect, but you could look at each one and go, okay, well, a party of people with different alignments, rather than immediately look at each other and go, hey, we got to fight. This is what we have to get accomplished, and how every person has what they can and can't do, and you could as a group still work as a party, and that was good. That was very interesting. So that was my choice.
Yeah, I love it. I love this list, and I would actually use it to roleplay, because it's always hard to play roleplay alignments, because it's like, okay. But if this is a simple set of rules that you could just, okay, I'll stay within these rules, and then you're staying with the alignment. You don't have to be, like, even if you're a paladin, you don't have to be like, I must kill you because you're evil. It's like, well, no, I'm going to stick to my guns, and this is what I believe in, and I think it's really cool. And I said it's clear and concise and doesn't cause any trouble in a group, and I think that's exactly what you want from alignments. Gygax doesn't believe this, but at least this guy figured it out.
Oh, that's a good point. No, Gygax did rail against this kind of thinking. Maybe it wasn't too long ago.
Well, we're coming up to him railing against it, I think, in a couple weeks. So he'll come up against this again. So
he did, like, I think maybe even 3 or 4 episodes ago. I remember him like, no, this is it. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys took my first 2, so I'm gonna have a lot less than I thought in this one. Mine is going to be right here, actually. It's the Deck of Fate. Little does everybody know that I love tarot cards. And
what page? Oh, it's
next page.
Next page. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And
I wondered if someone was going to take that.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's using a tarot card deck as a deck of many things kind of thing, but it's the Deck of Fate. And Deck of Many Things everybody always loved those, even though they're pretty harsh. This one has every single major arcana, and like I think there's 22 of them. He has he's like, oh, roll a percentile, and if you until you get like between 1 to 21, I'm like, well, why don't you just make a list of what to roll, like, make a range, right? But anyways, so you can pull a card from the deck. You're only allowed to pull 1 card, I think, is the rules. And whatever you pull, that happens to you. So there's some cool stuff, like the Fool gives you a weird and useless item, like a giant rabbit costume or a rubber duck.
I saw that. Or hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy. Only in the 70s would you ever get a hurdy-gurdy. But
leopard skin loincloth.
A lot of them are class or gender specific and give things like stat boost, spells, items, or money. The Lovers makes you fall in love with the next person you see, which I think is kind of funny because that'd be fun role playing. Because it could be your deadliest enemy you fall in love with.
It's true.
Another member of the party.
Justice makes a doppelganger you have to fight, exact same stats as you, so you have to fight him. Hermit teleports the player by himself to another room in the dungeon, which I think they say could be deadly, but only if you're playing crazy deadly D&D. The Hanged Man, you lose a level, which I thought bad. There's only a few bad ones, like Death is instant death, which is pretty harsh. And the Tower, you lose everything except a tunic, a basic weapon, and 13 gold pieces. Imagine if you were had all this great stuff and you got that card.
Yeah.
He says you pull the cards, you take your chances, right? So
you guess what you get.
Yeah. The Moon alignment changes to Chaotic Evil, and if you're already Chaotic Evil, you go insane. The Sun is lots of cash in a level. Yeah, it's overall pretty cool. There's a few bad ones, but it'd be kind of fun. I love random. random chance in a game, and I would definitely, if I was a player, pull one of these cards. Guaranteed. Because even the bad ones, other than the ones you automatically die, which, whatever, you can always get resurrected, I guess. But even the tower, like, as harsh as that is, that would be still pretty fun to roleplay. You'd be like, what the? But that is my deck of fate. And everybody needs a tarot card deck with them now in their game. Pat, what's your next one?
All right, so let us go to 22, I guess 24 on the PDF.
Ooh, we're staying right in the...
Yeah, right in the pocket. And this
I knew you'd pick this one. This was like, this is Pat's name all over it.
This is all another freaking chart.
Yep.
I love my charts. But all right, so the reason why this one I like, because it does speed up. One of the things I didn't like about Boot Hill was the hit location. It was very tedious. And then when I looked at this thing, I go, wow, this speeds that up very much. And after first edition Shadowrun, hit location charts always scarred me because the Shadowrun one first edition was very tedious.
I have a D20 that has hit locations on it. I love it.
So this is a nice little quick chart for Boot Hill. And it adds trivia.
Don't add 93 to 100, a mortal wound to the head. That's not good.
So, again, we fall into my love of charts.
Yeah. I saw Boot Hill and I said, Pat's picking this one.
But also it is chart related. Now, I didn't know the backstory about his being mentally scarred by other hit location charts, but really for a percentile, you've got different types of wounds in different locations, and they're grouped so that you wouldn't know exactly what you got. But if you rolled and you were like really high, you'd be like, oh. And if you're low, you're like, I'm probably good. But this is just a neat, quick little.
Yeah, nice little thing to wrap it up on the go. So
yeah,
fun.
Yeah,
Jack, you got another one? Oh, sorry, Pat, you done?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it wasn't a very complicated article, so there's not much to say about it.
I think you should roll on your hit location and take the wound.
Take it. Take it.
Oh, no. Left shoulder.
My left shoulder. It's broken. Okay, let's see here. Page 40 in the PDF. Let's see here.
Oh, I thought about this.
Strength comparison table. Is that the one, Jack?
38 on the... No.
It's the winners, isn't it?
We're going to look at the winners from the caption contest. Now, I apologize, Rob. This was made for... this is a contest results for ants. The honorable mentions, if you can see that point, I think it's a 5-point font they used. Like,
I can zoom in, and this PDF is awesome. It's very clear.
But imagine in the magazine. So it is the monk that's been impaled by many arrows, and the archer who is breaking the fourth wall, looking at us, going, "Oh, come on." And yet the monk is standing there, still in a stance. So the winner of this cartoon by DJ or JD, the winning entry is, so I said, "Stop or I'll shoot. Stop or I'll shoot. Stop or I'll shoot." That was from Martin Connell.
I did not think that was funny.
That was not. Because of the picture itself wasn't my favorite. The second one, much funnier. You look at the archer's face, and then you see it's the caption. I would like to speak to the DM privately for a moment. That is funnier because that is the face of someone who's like, come on.
Yeah.
Why is this guy dead? Yeah.
I got to talk to you. There's some shenanigans going on, and that was Michael J. C. Stefano of
I think this might be De Stefano, and it's another.
It probably is De Stefano. I've never seen a S in front.
Pat, as a resident person who's not white, is there an S in front? S.E. Stefano?
No,
I think it's supposed to be a D, right?
I think it's supposed to be a D also.
Thank you.
Oh, well, Michael J. Has a bone to pick. And the third, just to round it out, we've got Larry Yang wrote Stoicism at its best. Again, not funny. So
I'd like to go with their honorable mentions. I could zoom in and read the honorable mentions.
yeah, if you don't mind, yeah.
W. Morris from Canada says, he keeps muttering something about pain and all in the mind. Pretty good.
Yep, that's pretty good.
E. Metheny from California says, you may think I'm worried, but the fact that he didn't dodge the arrows proves he can't be very good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So far, better than the winners, I think.
Better than the winning entry, yes.
T. McQueen from MI, where's that? Michigan?
Michigan.
You are such a pain in the neck, in the back, in the stomach, in the arms, in the legs. Pretty good, too. Jay Ward from Wisconsin says, isn't Jay Ward the guy who does...
James Ward.
Yeah, he works for TSR. And he says, could you move this one arrow? It hurts. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not a good one.
G. Graves from Washington says, Fred Flowers says there's an ambush ahead. Okay. L. Sweetest from Massachusetts says, we better advertise for a new arrow catcher. It does make sense, but it's funny.
No, that's absurdism that I think peaks a couple of our funny bones, but the vast majority of people would be like, that's nonsense.
Kay Thompson from New York says, so much for the quivering palm. I'm not sure. I think that's a sexual reference.
I always thought it was, so...
It's a kung fu move, guys. You guys never watch kung fu theater?
Tons of it, but...
W. Morris from Canada again. He gets 2 in here. It says, I hate people who yell when I've got a headache. I guess because the monk's yelling, so the guy's like, oh.
I don't get it.
Oh, I like the next one. R. Duche from New York says, don't tell me he made a saving throw. Like that one.
Yep.
All right, that's pretty funny.
Blaming the mechanics for something outrageous. Yeah, that's funny.
W. Morris from Canada again. I find it spurious that they supposedly had over 200 submitted entries, and this guy gets 3 of them in there. Don't tell me. Oh, no, sorry. Faster than a speeding arrow. He's not. Once again, Morris, you're not funny. And lastly, C. Cottle from Connecticut. Wait till I find the guy who sold me these magic arrows. That's I'd like to throw my card like a top 10 list from Letterman, but that's it.
Nice.
Yes.
I can't believe how small type that is, and I'm amazed that when I zoom in with the PDF, it's crystal clear. Well, how come that's crystal clear and we can't see pictures?
I was going to say, we can't even read an ad, a full-page ad, but you can get in it on that font. Yeah. So that was my last article, as it were. Okay,
my last article is on page. Well, I think it's on page. It'll probably end up being on page 30. Yes, Sorcerer's Scroll. It's Gygax. He's back. D&D, AD&D, and gaming. Gygax pretty much goes through the history of D&D, and
what page is that again?
Oh, sorry, on page 30 of the PDF. He goes through the history of D&D. He fluffs up Arneson, who either he's in a legal battle with or about to be in a legal battle with, which I found.
I don't think. This hasn't started yet.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting there, but it hasn't started yet because
like within a month or something. No, it's really close to being like it was 79 when it happened. So, he goes on to say D&D is an open sandbox for adventure, while AD&D is a rigid set of rules. And damn you if you try to add anything to it. He's like, this is it. You try to add anything to it, it's not AD&D anymore. It's some other random game. He has a very fascist view of playing the game. It says that he makes a good point though, because he says now that AD&D is such a rigid rule set, you can play anyone in the world. You go to play a game of AD&D anywhere in the world, it'll be the same rules. So you don't have to worry about some house rules going on and all this stuff.
It's kind of I don't know, fortuitous, I guess, that he says that, because that's not what it turns into.
Well, it's theoretically that was his point of it, was to
At the time, that was his impression, and
especially compared to D&D, which is just random. Like, you have to make up a lot of stuff for D&D to work. So,
in hindsight, however, yes, it does change and morph, and Dragon Magazine is a part of it, and there's a lot of other stuff too. But yeah,
and as they had, like, that's another thing that they never mentioned. Like, they're always like, there's only books you need, or Player's Handbook, Game Masters, D's and Demigods. They really, well, it's called, what is it called? Gods, something.
Demigods and Heroes.
Yeah, something like that. And Monster Manual, the only books you'll ever need. But obviously, as we later come, there's tons of other books, like
tons.
So, anyway, he backpedals a bit, says it's still a game and shouldn't take it too seriously, which is true. He promotes it as a tournament game, which it's crazy. It's like he really wants this to be a tournament game. He thinks that AD&D will be easy to run because it takes less imagination from the DM. DM doesn't have to make up so much stuff, which is probably true. Because once again, D&D is a basic framework, where AD&D is at least a rule set.
Yes, 100%.
He also explains why he attacked those amateur magazines a while ago. He says it was to defend TSR's honor, but he also says it should help the magazines gain exposure and see how wrong he was, to make them prove how wrong he was, so that they get better.
Yes, when you bully that kid at school, it is to make him
better, stronger.
Better.
He'll be a stronger person in the end.
He'll be better for it when we're done.
Yep. He also takes a shot at a pro magazine that just released, saying it was deplorable and won't last. He doesn't say what it was, because obviously he doesn't want to give them any new viewers. But he does say it's a house organ of an aspiring publisher. So I'm curious who we think that is. It doesn't sound like it's the what is the SBI, whatever, the strategic and tactics or whatever that one, because that's been around a while. He said this is a up and coming one. So I'm curious who put out a magazine around this time for their company that he hated. There's not many companies out there, so
that he lashed out at. Yeah. Okay.
But that's Gygax. That's our Gygax update for the week. And he's still angry.
Stay angry, Gygax.
Stay angry. Stay angry, corny boy.
So that's my last article. Pat, do you have another one?
I actually have two.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, no.
So let's go to page 33 on the PDF. I was very intrigued by this Mugger. And I thought it could... game? No, I thought it could be turned into a very funny variant of a D&D board game. I mean, this is something you actually could put miniatures into. And
a game of tactical inter-city combat.
Yeah.
You think this is a real... I assumed it was a spoof. Just the first couple paragraphs, I assumed it was kind of like a joke spoof of D&D.
I think it's kind of a spoof, but it's...
Could function?
It could function as a funny variant.
Because it's under the humor section on the thing. So it's supposed to be a joke, yeah. Yeah,
so I'm not saying would be a serious thing. This is something that you could do for fun. One of the things that made me laugh was the bare hand asterisk. It's recommended only for muggers with exceptional strength or for those of gorilla ancestry. So, I mean, it's not very serious at all, but it's one of those things that you, when you're playing D&D and you have no campaign, you're in between campaigns, you got nothing going on, you want to play some D&D, you can bust this out. And
some guys just mugging each other?
Well, it's not they're mugging each other. I think you go out and mug, and then you do all these different charts, you get experience for your loot, who you encounter, and then if you get enough experience points, you can actually even level up your mugger character.
From Clod, Creep, Punk, Crumb, Tough, Hood, Thug, Crook, Criminal, Arch Criminal, Master Criminal, and Congressman.
Yeah.
We got a little political there.
So I thought, like I said, I just thought it was a little funny variant game that you could turn into even a board game. You take the D&D rules, you add some figures, you play on a CD map.
You just need some rough outlines of some buildings and some corners and alleys, and just go to town.
Or not even use miniatures. You could just use a map and say, this is my area, kind of a thing. Yeah, so
chips.
Many things you can do with this. So
Kevin Hendricks.
Yeah. I can't move my mouse.
Oh, no.
Pat, stuck.
You smell burnt toast?
Yeah. And then my last article is on page 38 of the PDF.
38?
Yeah.
38.
And
I saw this one too.
Blueprint for a Lich. And I read it, and I thought...
I can say I read it.
Well, I read it, and I was like, I don't know what this is all about. And, and the thing is, after I was done reading it, I thought to myself, you know what? I never did think about what you would have to do to turn your magic user into a Lich in a D&D game. I know Rob hates magic users, but some of us who don't mind you playing a magic user, at one point, when do you want to turn yourself into a Lich? And as far as I can remember, there was never really a blueprint for actually turning your magic user into a Lich. It's talked about in different games how they become Liches and things, but this actually gives you a blueprint. It gives you ingredients of things you have to do, and things like that. So I thought it was just kind of cool.
It is also by Lynn Lakofka, who is a famous D&D guy. Like he was around. I think he only died maybe not that long.
Yeah, you see him on all the tests. He's in all the Gen Cons. He plays. Yeah. He shows up in the D&D. I think he's actually from Illinois somewhere. I think I seen his name on the.
He was very famous. Yeah, he was very famous. Like I don't know if he ever worked for TSR directly, but he did a lot of side stuff. And I think even Wizards of the Coast eventually had him do some modules for them later on.
Yeah. So
he was like an OG guy.
Yeah, so I really like this Blueprint for Lich because after I read it, it really dawned on me, like, we've never really had a step-by-step process. Like, I need to do this, so I need to get this much onto my next adventure.
So if you were playing a character, you could make the backstory, I want to become a Lich.
Yeah.
And you could then work with the DM to go, listen, this is my story arc that I want to do.
This is my goal. When I get to this level, I want to become a Lich.
Yeah, so like I can you make sure I can find this or that and stuff, or work it into the system? I can see that. It gives you
the best thing would be if you just keep going to places and trying to collect all the stuff, and the GM's like, "Why is he doing this? Like, I don't understand what."
Yeah, or then you can just
pops it on him.
Yeah. So. Okay, you got a clay jar. What do you want that for? That's not going to help you. Oh, won't it?
Oh, yeah, or a quarter blood from a vampire. Or a person infected with vampirism.
Well, in the way these guys play D&D, that would happen all the time.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody gets infected at some point.
I'm looking at some of these things here, like, too. It says, the heart of a virgin humanoid killed by a wyvern venom.
Yeah. I want some wyvern venom. What, you're going to use that as a poison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case.
Yeah. But that would be my last article.
Why do you want a phase spider?
Because, they phase.
Jack, do you have any ads?
It's just a phase.
Oh.
Yes. We're going to go up to page 2. 2 for my ad.
This one also. Which one is that? The Ralpartha one?
Yes. Now, it's a nice looking ad. I like the look of it. It kind of looks like a font inspired by Star Wars at the top, and we come down to high quality workmanship and attention to detail. And these look better than a lot of the miniatures we've seen thus far, and are starting to look like what we would know as, a reasonable miniature. It's not the Imperial Dragon that we've mocked and ridiculed in the past. So Ralpartha is starting to create what I'm accustomed to in miniature quality, and I thought it was a nice ad.
Yeah, World Partha obviously, in our youth was that was the top. Like they were the best miniatures. So
that's what you looked for. They had the Shadowrun miniatures that were nice. Everything that they were the Mercedes. So
well, they even did BattleTech miniatures, I think, originally too, didn't they?
Partha, yeah.
Yeah.
And Shadowrun.
That's what Jack just said.
Yeah. So that was my ad.
I wasn't. No.
Jack, he doesn't want to listen to you ever.
No, he's tired tonight. This week he's a little tuckered out. There are poor little choppers. All little choppers are a little tuckered out.
Tuckered out.
My ad's on page 4 of the PDF, which is Origins 79.
79.
This is PenCon 15 and Origin 79 combined in Widener College, Chester, Pennsylvania. And it's sponsored by Strategy and Fantasy World. It's the 5th annual National Wargaming Convention. So it's Origins. It's they must have forgave Dragon. They have a full page ad in the thing, or Dragon gave them the full page ad as saying sorry.
Yeah. Your lawsuit has merit, Jeremy, but Mr. Gygax would like to see if perhaps you wouldn't mind taking this ad as a little bit of a buffer,
as a token of friendship.
Exactly.
So it's got all the things you'd ever want from Origins, and accommodations and restaurants for every budget located nearby.
That's good.
It does not have a price. We don't know how much Origins costs, so it better be cheaper than $10. Maybe it's free. I don't know.
Well, just for that information, you have to send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Remember when you had to do that? The sassy? You had to get sassy?
You had to get the sass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. We got Gen Con, now we got Origins. We're equal opportunity podcasters, so we don't want to favor one over the other, even though obviously Gen Con is better. Pat, do you got any ads or anything you want to talk about?
I do have one last ad.
Sure.
And it's the very last page, 52.
52.
This is the Space Gamer.
I didn't even see this one. What is it?
This is a metagaming magazine for the guys that will eventually turn into Steve Jackson Games. And it's a sci-fi magazine. Game magazine. This
is the magazine Gygax was talking about.
And so, but here's what I thought was pretty cool and slightly ballsy to put in the Dragon magazine, is that not only are you advertising your own magazine in their deal, but when you buy a subscription, you can check the box and get one of their free games.
It's pretty fun.
You could get Ogre, or you can get Melee, you can get Rivets.
It's you get a subscription, get a game. That's pretty
cool.
Yeah.
So
how much is $8 for a year? That's
and a free
how many
game?
issues? How many issues is it though? I wonder.
It doesn't really say. Every 2 months, so bi-monthly.
So 6 issues for $8. Not bad. Cheaper than Dragon.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny that there's this sci-fi magazine.
It says the best covers of any gaming zine. Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Shots fired.
Shots fired. And good on you, Steve Jackson.
Compared to what we have been getting for Dragon, I think that would be a safe bet. This picture right here is way better than any cover that Dragon has put out as a cover.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
That guy.
You're just doing hot takes.
Look at the female. Looks like a female.
Save that for Twitter. Well, actually, I that she looks like a character that I've seen on books before. Like what she's wearing, the eyes, the hair. Like it looks like when I thought Pat was gonna say that's pretty ballsy. I thought she was from like a book cover or like a module or something like that. Because she looks very familiar.
Well, the Wolfman's throwing dice in her face, so.
Yeah, and Pizza the Hut's going to let it happen.
Take him. Yeah. It looks like he's drooling a bit. I think he likes it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw those dice. Anyways, anything else, guys? Any other
No,
things
I
anybody
think-
would
no.
like to discuss?
That's it.
No, I'm good.
Well, this has been another issue, an episode of Dragon's Tome and Dragon Magazine. And if you want to hook up with us, we have a Facebook group. We have not that way, Jack. Jeez, you and your
Or maybe that way, if you we're open.
send Polaroid pictures to Jack. Twitter, we're on Twitter, and YouTube. Obviously, that's where you're seeing us right now. Please comment below with anything you'd like to for us to discuss, or maybe even things that we think we got wrong.
Or if you read the articles and disagree or agree with us, feel free to interject. Is that a word that's made up?
There is a link to all these Dragon magazines that are available for free on the internet. And please like, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring our bells. Jack wants his bell rung real good.
You can ring Jack's bell.
I'm Rob.
I've been Chopper.
Jinx.
Oh.
Jinx.
Oh.
We'll be back next week for more of that comedy. Bye-bye.
Boom.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.